Hey, welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
Gman, Chazaq.
Yeah.
On the show tonight.
Welcome
What's
to
up,
the Mystery
guys?
School.
What's cracking, Big Mac?
Welcome.
What's up?
Welcome to the mystery.
Gotta hold your mic, man.
He's not ready. He can.
What's up?
We're on, man.
Chazaq's multitasking right now.
So tonight we got Chazaq Pinto.
Gia.
There he is right there. Got some big curly
Right
hair
here.
sticking out. It's cool.
Yep.
And then
Booyah.
G-Man. You want to go with your full name too?
Don't call me Roberto.
G-Man Garred Brown.
Garrett Andrew Brown, a.k.a.
Andrew.
Lamar Berserkowitz, a.k.a. Manny, a.k.a. 10,258.
Spaceman.
A.k.a. Spaceman on the base, man.
A man of many nicknames.
A.k.a. Carlos Lucito Juanito Paco Martinez III.
Number.
Chazaq, what are some of your nicknames? We got one.
Let's see. Some of my nicknames are Carpet.
No, on Instagram.
Oh, Bamsterdam.
Amsterdam.
It's like the country,
Yeah, with a B.
but with a B in front of it.
Yeah.
And then, yeah,
What else you got?
I don't know.
We went out to a
I
store.
got,
We
I
went
got
out to a
so
coffee
many
shop,
names. Every
and
single time
the
I meet
lady
somebody
made the
has a
coffee,
new
and
name
she's like,
for me.
Carl, you're triple
Hell yeah.
something latte
Carl
something with
Bamberger.
extra without this something. And she's always like, yeah, to me.
Yeah,
Carl?
let me get my coffee.
Yeah, that's the other nickname, Carl Bamberger.
Bamberger.
Yeah, that's another one.
We used to call you the jerk,
The jerk,
Back in the
Chazaq
day.
the jerk.
Chazaq.
We
Yeah.
actually, me and Chazaq recorded you rapped yesterday, and we recorded
Sure did.
it. Yep, for
I heard about that.
what's
And
that? What are you doing with it? You're sending it to a guy in Spain.
Yeah, I'm shooting it out to a homie in Spain. We've been pen pals for like 3 years. He used to be my next door neighbor in Portland. The house that you
Legit.
visited us at. G.
Oh, yeah. That's hella cool.
G, yeah.
Yeah.
So you rapped last night, you're going to email it to him?
Yeah.
We already sent it
did.
to
We
him.
sent
Oh,
to him.
shit. What were you rapping about? Were you rapping in Spanish?
No, in
Oh.
English.
You rapped in Spanish a little.
You did.
I did. I
Okay,
did
there
the
you go. I
chorus in
mean, it's only
Spanish.
appropriate, right?
Yeah.
You're sending it to Spain?
It's
Do
a
you
good
do you
mix.
want to put the rap at the end of this? We could put your rap on the end of this podcast.
That would be
That's
cool.
Do a
it.
live
Debut.
rap. Well, we could
We'll
do what we do with
live rap.
Dean. What? Give you some freestyle subjects on Post-it notes.
Word.
That's what we did with.
That's what
Dean.
we did with Dean. It was epic.
That's
I could probably
awesome.
remember the
Yeah.
verse.
You know Dean.
I
I'm
tried
sure
really
that-
hard.
Hawkinson?
Yeah.
That is my boy.
Yeah.
That guy's funny, man, because, like, I like to
Feel
get
better,
weird in
Dean, if
conversations.
you're out
And,
there
like, I'll
listening.
just throw something weird at him,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he'll just take it and just throw it right back, you know?
It'll give you something weirder.
Yeah, I give it weirder. Like, Dean's hella cool. Like, he's just go with the flow. Let's do
Yeah.
this.
I know. That
Yeah, he will take you.
You know what's funny? One
to some
time,
weird places in your brain.
speaking of Dean, he gave me my first Aesop Rock album. He was playing at Luna's, and he's like, who has Bazooka Tooth? And I didn't even know what he was talking about. It's Aesop's first album.
no, it's not his
And-
first album.
Or is it?
It's like his fourth album.
I think it was his first with Def Jux.
Maybe.
I think so.
But
But,
Labor
um,
Days was before that one.
Dean's like, if someone buys me a beer, they can have this CD. And I was like, free CD? Fuck yeah. I was like, take my beer. So I give it a look at it. I'm like, Aesop Rock. And I put it in. And I just felt like my head was collapsing.
Was it like he purchased it? It was the full
Yeah,
deal.
it's like
What
he
album
bought
was
it.
it?
Bazooka Tooth.
Bazooka Tooth. Oh,
Bazooka Tooth, bitch!
Yeah, that's got some crazy sounding beats. They're like, it's like you're in a factory. It's like some machines are going.
Yeah, our friend
Acid,
Steezo said it sounds like
Getting shot with a
tons
bazooka
of missiles are
in your
coming at your
face.
face. Yeah,
Yeah, they
that's what
probably
the
are.
album sounds like.
Yeah, it's like listening to Frank Zappa, dude. It's just
Now
fucking
it's not so
warped and out of this
crazy.
He is
world.
kind of
You
the
go
Frank
back and listen
Zappa
to
of
Yeah, because then we
hip-hop
all,
and rhymes.
because dubstep came up and be like,
Yeah.
this is what crazy sounds like.
Yeah,
Yeah, but the album before that sounded way different. It was
Yeah.
like groovy beats.
There was like Float, and I think Labor Days might
Yeah.
have been before that.
Labor Days, that one's great. I love
Yeah.
that one. You ever listen to that one, Dustin? Labor Days?
Yes.
It's a good album.
Doom, doom,
They had Daylight and then
doom.
Nightlight.
That's from the Daylight EP.
Daylight
That
EP.
one, yeah, the Daylight.
All right, so let's talk about how, like, I met you guys, basically. Chazaq.
Yeah, you guys know
Oh, yeah.
everybody back, right? That's been on the episode. You guys know Kevin.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You guys know
No, Kevin
Brian.
from back
Oh,
in the
yeah.
day.
You guys know.
I named
you guys know
my
Dean.
cat after Brian. I got
I
a
know
cat and I
Tony
named it
for
Brian
years.
Jackson.
Was it? Yeah. Was it a female or a male?
It was a male.
I've known Chazaq longer than
That would
any
be cool if it was
like
a
anybody
female
except for
cat.
Aaron.
Named Brian
Yeah,
Jackson.
about
No, just
yeah.
'cause of
Aaron's
that on
probably.
I have to name something after.
I met
you
you guys when
Yeah,
I was
for
about
sure.
13 years old.
Because
Because he's an awesome character. Oh, sorry.
But
yeah.
We're doing 2 conversations at
I'm
once.
sorry, I
Hey.
apologize.
No, it's all good.
no, it's cool.
catching up.
If you're paying attention, you can probably hear them both perfectly fine.
We're gonna
Exactly.
pan into left.
We
and
do
right.
have more than 4 senses, so you
Yeah,
can
totally.
listen to a couple conversations.
But you only got 2 ears, man,
No
and that's
problem.
4 people having 2 conversations, man.
We'll
That's
play it
fucking
forward and
bullshit.
backwards simultaneously at the same time, timed
Yeah.
up with Dark Side of the Moon.
Wow,
And
I ain't
you
timing
will hear
it up
some
with
crazy
any movies.
shit.
That's gonna be too much work.
No, you won't.
I-
You make
I don't know.
the viewer do that.
What movie would be
All right,
awesome?
so Chazaq,
Wizard of Oz
I met you at youth camp when we were kids.
Yeah, I was about 13 years old.
Is that how old we were?
Yeah.
Something like that. And I remember Joel Johnson was our counselor, right?
Yeah, Joel Johnson.
It's totally a fake name, dude.
Yeah, no,
But
you guys made that
The
up.
one thing I remember though from the first day I met you, Joel's like, "That's some cool hair you got, man. How long did it take you to do that?" And you're like, "I don't know, a little bit,
That's hilarious.
a little bit."
So you've been sporting that since you were 13?
No, you,
Uh,
back then you had greasy, like slicked back kind
Yeah,
of.
You
it
look
was
like a cholo.
Combed back. Yeah, and
I
I was
think a
like
fucking
chubby.
Cholo, yeah.
It was like
Hella
greasy and really wavy.
Yeah.
Ben George.
It was like a grown out fade.
Technically, yeah.
So you guys met at youth camp.
At
What
youth
was the
camp,
youth
yeah.
camp? Was it Christian?
Yeah, it was Christian.
Christian youth camp?
Yeah, it was about Jesus.
Cool.
Jesus.
So you guys are
Christ
Bible
and the Lord.
studying it up, and then like you sparked like
We weren't
Yeah.
necessarily the best of friends. by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah, we
Gotcha.
weren't.
That was the first.
Like we, you know, whatever. We hit it.
We had
we're-
different cliques that we would hang out with.
Yeah,
So
because I was like in the
different
rocker
crews.
clique.
Yeah, the
and
rocker
Chazaq was
clique.
in the rapper crew.
The rapper crew.
And yeah, so we hung out with different groups of people.
Yeah.
But then when we started playing music, like years later,
Yeah.
So circle back around to like, whoa.
Yeah, we
started
became,
playing-
like closer friends.
music when we were
Immediately.
like 16 together, right?
Yeah.
Because you one day like it was
16,
after
17.
church or something or 15. Yeah, I think I was driving. It was 16.
Mm-hmm.
We went to church, which I guess I still did that at 16. I probably didn't do it at 17.
No.
And then
We
you're
weren't the
like,
best
"Hey, you
at
want
it,
to
but
go
we were
jam?
there."
You want to go jam with this guy, Brian Jackson in Lincoln?" And then, because I was playing upright bass at the time, it was during that
Yeah.
era. And then I brought my bass over, like I picked you up, brought the bass over, and then Brian Jackson seemed like almost. I don't know if he even knew we were coming. When we got there, he seemed shocked to see
He
us.
It's
forgot.
typical that I probably didn't tell him that I was
Yeah.
bringing somebody.
Yeah, so we get there, and then
Yo, this is my friend. Let him
He's
in.
a friend,
we
yeah,
were
he's tight.
playing kind of like hip hop.
And that was your
right?
first meeting
Yeah.
of Brian Jackson?
Basically, that's what
Yeah,
I
that
was
was the first time I
playing.
met
That was the
Brian
first time.
Jackson, and he lived in Lincoln at the time.
Yeah, I was basically just playing hip hop back then.
So I was playing upright bass, and Brian Jackson was playing guitar, and we were doing kind of like hip hop like grooves, but yeah, real mellow. Wasn't anything
You
dirty
were
or
drumming,
crazy.
Shazaq?
Yep.
It's like real smooth
Drumming.
grooves.
Is Brian on guitar?
Yeah, Brian was playing guitar.
Doing hip hop, do you like doing the acoustic kit, or do you do the electronic kit as well?
I haven't really played with electronic kits ever, but it'd be fun to. I don't have nothing against them. They're awesome. But
You ever jam on the one that I have?
I
got that
haven't.
Roland
I
V
played
kit? I think-
on it a little bit.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
when
you
you
do
came
like
to
the
It was
V drum,
weird.
does it
It
have
was
the
all
mesh?
set up
Yep.
all crazy.
Yeah,
Yep.
those are cool.
Dude, I beat the fuck out of those drums. I did a punk project. It was like punk thrash metal, like Sepultura style. And man, I just like
Sepultura style
I just
on
killed
electronics.
those fucking pads. Like they don't even work. Like the ride doesn't even work anymore.
And then Chazaq, I mean, you're also kind of how I know Gman, really.
Yeah.
Because I knew you and Brian Jackson, and then at that time you guys were playing in A New Hope, and then Gman was playing bass.
Yep.
New Hope was like a live band hip hop group.
Yeah.
And you were
sure
playing.
was.
You were playing guitar in the Mighty Oak,
Yeah.
right?
At the
And
time.
we both practiced at Brian's place.
Uh-huh.
So you
Yeah.
and I think Mandrew was in that group too.
Yeah.
And
We had Andrew on last episode.
oh,
Yeah.
cool. I was really hoping I could see that guy.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. Tell him I said hello.
Well, say it to
Um,
him right now, man. Maybe he'll tune in.
What up, Mandrew? I remember I used to work at the studio with that guy for this bald dude named Dimitri, and me and Brian. That's how I started meeting Brian and Mandrew. I met Luke Doty that way too. But I'd be talking
Yeah,
to
totally.
Mandrew,
Luke Doty.
and
Big
you'd just be
shout out.
talking to him, and he'd look at you, and then he would make this weird, nervous thing with his eyes. I'd be telling him a sentence, be like, dude, and then I looked at the cat, and I'm like, don't you fucking go outside. And then the cat goes outside, right? And I look at him, and he's like this. made this weird ass look with his eyes like this, getting bigger and bigger, and it stopped. And I'm like, dude, I just look like I just blew this guy's fucking mind. And I'm like, are you cool, man? He's like, it's just this thing I do. Sometimes my eyes get big. I don't know. But it was like the secrets of the universe were unveiling when I told the story about how my cat snuck outside.
I don't
Rodney
think
Dangerfield
he doesn't really do that anymore.
I don't think so.
Did you?
No.
No. He he was a lot more awkward when he was younger. Now he's really not that awkward anymore. Andrew.
Oh no,
Oh yeah, he's rocking out right now.
I don't know. I don't know if Jan was in. Like,
He's cool, man.
Yeah,
He got on with that guy.
He got
we were
rid of the
just
awkward.
kicking it. Yeah. Like,
Yeah, he kicked
Friends for
the
a long
awkward
time,
thing.
too.
Good luck, Andrew.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
No, that's a good awkwardness. I think sometimes is just like you're feeling out like certain people, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And if you vibe with the right kind of people,
You let your
there's no
guard down and
awkwardness.
be smooth.
Yeah, and it's no big deal to be awkward with people. That's kind of just your barrier going like, if I go
Yeah.
too deep with you, it is going to lead to awkward situations. Like, why waste my time, right?
Yep.
And then
Definitely.
you're cool with people that just resonate. That's what jamming's about, right? Like, if the awkwardness is there with just
Yeah.
being around or hanging out, if it's going to be there with music, no matter
Yeah.
what their skill is, you know.
Yeah, what do you do with awkwardness? Do you hold back, be quiet a little bit, or do you push forward?
With
and
an
just go
awkward
for it?
person,
No, like playing musically, you know. When
if you're feeling awkward, or
if things start getting a little awkward, like you know, like when you're just like first playing with a new group.
no,
or
that is
something.
when everybody starts pushing forward. That's the first
Yeah.
try to like everybody starts taking hold to like make it
Yeah.
go somewhere, and then eventually you just
You gotta
have
try
to
to break
somebody
the
the
ice
same
somewhere.
person stops, and then you have to go like agree that was shit,
Mm-hmm.
refresh,
Yeah.
screen,
Refresh.
and then try to start new, agreeing that was shit, and hopefully you can
Yeah.
build from there. Because sometimes even
And
with
just keep
cool people,
building.
you meet the awkward moment because like you could be in the awkward element, like
It happens.
tripping out, like you like just meet someone, you're like, whoa, dude, like I'm coming on, like it's something, right? And you're like, sorry, man, I just ate some mushrooms. So then you reset, and you build it back again. And like, yeah, it's cool.
Yep. Or sometimes what I'll do if I'm playing with more than one person, I'll just lay back and I just won't play anything for like a measure. You know, not like stopping them out, but just kind of check
Stop
out
back
and just
and
be like,
listen.
okay. And I did that a couple times when the three of us were jamming earlier. Hold back
Yeah.
on a few notes and just kind of check out and be like, oh, you guys are talking about this.
Yes.
Let me get
Yeah.
up in this.
That's
Yeah,
the ultimate
totally
key of
right.
music too, is being a good
You
listener.
listen.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
when
Let
to
it flow
interject in
freely
the
through.
conversation.
Yeah.
It's ultimately responding and interjecting with people and like,
Yeah, feeling each other out,
Yeah.
using the music.
Yeah,
you're
it's a
telling
form of
story that's
communication.
growing. Right? Yeah.
It's cool, man.
Sounds
we
really
jammed
good
out,
when
Tony,
you.
while you were
Heard
getting
it.
everything setting up, and
could hear it
we
from
did the
outside.
swap.
That
So
was
tonight we're gonna
really
have
fun.
Chazaq on the drums.
We got more
Yeah.
jamming to do.
and
Cool.
then percussion, and then D-Man. I'm D-Man. I'm gonna play on the
D-Man?
drums.
Oh,
and
Yeah.
D-Man on the
percussion
drums.
Switch. Yeah, we're gonna do the swap again, and then we got G-Man
Yeah.
on the bass,
Is a no pants
and
dance.
That's right.
and the organ. Tony on the bass guitar,
Oh,
and the
I'll play-
guitar and the bass and the organ. I may play bass. Who knows? We're gonna just swap it up, cycle
Yeah, I
it
might
around.
get
We
on
got
the
wall
keys.
drums.
Shazaq
percussion
might bust a
stuff.
rap in Spanish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
No
might
te
have some
cinco seis,
rapping.
bitch.
There's some Spanish
And not
stuff.
Christmas present rapping. We're gonna have real rapping.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Forgot to get the Christmas
what's
rap.
What's up? Yeah, fuck that shit.
I always thought it'd be funny to have wrapping paper for Christmas with like dollar bills and like blunts and like lowriders and like booties and stuff. And I would call it gangster rap. And they'd
Yeah.
sell it at like Spencer's.
That'd be
You know,
great.
and they could have like
Lots of gold
they could have like the
reflecting.
Juggalo edition for the white dudes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, that's
Fuck a
awesome.
Juggalo.
You're giving up.
Keep that on record.
You're giving up all your
You can keep
best
that one.
best ideas on the podcast.
It's all right. It's
Awesome.
down on paper. So right.
Keep
Put
it.
it down.
Yeah.
Email this idea to yourself.
You heard of
and
the
it's
poor man's
trademarked.
patent? Well, this is
Yes.
another version. You just do a podcast and tell your idea, and then someone steals it. You're like, refer to this podcast episode. You can clearly hear it's my
Timestamp.
idea.
Do you guys believe there's a collective consciousness?
Definitely.
Sure.
Like that one movie that's animated?
Pinocchio,
I don't know what it is.
Avatar,
No. It's like,
Avatar.
No, not like Avatar.
Ferngully,
No, it's like it looks real, but it's like animated. You know, it's got
Waking Life,
something like that. It's like about it's a book. I don't know. I think
Scanner Darkly.
it's something like Scanner Darkly. Anyways.
It's a wild range of options, but
Yeah.
we know what you're exactly.
A shot in the dark. We're gonna hit something eventually.
Well, the idea of a collective consciousness isn't
As
like
someone
new.
else thought of it
That's
at
that's
some
exactly what
point,
you're
and then
explaining.
you think of it too.
Yeah.
But it does seem like maybe
Simultaneously.
we are all just kind of tapping into some kind of collective consciousness.
Yeah, it's just like circulating.
Yeah.
Who really knows? All right, G-Man,
What's up?
what do you think the origin of humanity is?
The origin of humanity. That's a good question. Well, each, biological species in their own class has social behaviors that might be constructed either individually or by larger groups. So if you take, for example, a
Bill
lion,
Withers.
if you put a lion in the woods or in the jungles by itself, it's going to operate and behave by its own sociological mechanisms that are put in place because of its surroundings. So if a lion is by
Nature,
himself,
nurture kinda.
yeah, the lion's going to act more defensively. He's going to be more interested in taking care of himself, hunting for food, looking out for bigger predators. Take that same lion, erase his memory, have him raised in a large, what do they call them? Like a pack, a herd, a pride? A
Crew.
pride, yeah. Put that same lion and raise him up in the pride of lions. He's going to have a much larger moral code to live by. So as what you were talking about with the synapses in the brain, as they prove to be part of something that's even greater, the spokes on a wheel. Or if you look at raindrops coming together to make a puddle, a river, a lake, an ocean, an Arctic tundra.
So
We were
you're
created
just
by-
starting us out just as you're saying we just like evolved out of the rest of the animal kingdom and that's what it is. Like your origin of humanity.
Like the origin of species.
Well,
like
also
what
you
Darwin
could be
was
like-
talking about with
you
natural
could-
selection.
Humans,
You could
yeah.
also talk about like, well, aliens 500,000 years ago.
Oh, that?
From
Okay.
Mars.
Okay, I see where you're coming from.
I mean,
the
you could
planet
go
Mars.
any route, but that's the route. That's the route you naturally were going to. Is
Yeah, I think
Purpose
so.
synapses, like, are we doing our own job just like the lions on the pride?
Right.
Part of the brain where we're all connected, but we've all been what we are, and we're getting better at what we're doing, right? Or are we evolving towards like bigger brains, bigger entities, or was alien intervention? What's the missing link? Where did humans come from?
You think it's aliens?
If not, no, I'm not. We're just asking. If not,
I don't think it's
if
aliens.
not chimpanzees or
Hell, not
evolution
biased.
or like evolving like from a pride and like a lion trying or reincarnation, like we don't know the options. Like
Well, I think as it grows, I think it's like society and sociology of the mind that affects how humanity grows. Like that affects wars, and
The
wars
collective
kills a lot of people.
consciousness.
That affects greed. That causes us to change the shape of the face of the earth because we want to expand and change it.
Yeah, and like the internet is like a vast accelerator.
Yeah, and it's socially driven. Like it's powered by our ideas. And what the internet is today is certainly not what the internet was in 2004. And it never sleeps because it's worldwide.
yeah,
Word up.
the brain never sleeps, right?
You go to
Worldwide.
sleep, wake up, the whole world has changed because there's so many
Completely.
other people awake, like working on the world, fixing
Exactly.
all
It
its
never
problems.
stops.
That's real. Never
Yeah.
stops.
You're
The
just
stock
pitching in.
market
It's
resets.
happening
Yeah,
simultaneously.
it does
if
seem
you ever
like-
fall
Plane goes
asleep,
backwards in time
you've
over
missed
the prime meridian.
You've missed a lot.
It seems like things do change quicker and quicker.
It's
Like
interesting.
Every year.
It's
Like change is just
interesting
like
thought.
accelerating.
Do you think that's the time as a spiral, like as it is, like on a whole getting faster, or is it just the ratio thing of as you're getting older,
I mean,
time is, a
I don't
year
know.
it gets is not as big an
I think
aspect
it's
of
the
how long
internet,
you've lived.
really, is what I think it is.
I think it's overall technology.
The
Like
internet,
if
like
you look at
distractions?
advancements in
No, I
science.
think it's that like people are recording information about things and then they go on the internet and then people pick up on them on their computers at home, whatever they are,
People are learning
articles,
faster, so
articles, data,
things speeding
and
it.
so more people are getting all this information, and then as they get it as an organism, they change maybe their behavior or they.
But it's also kind of like telephone. Like after so many people are just like using the same things going on in the internet, they don't look deeper for themselves. They just get the wrong ideas. Like when they're trying to look for an answer, you just get just a random answer that like all these people have already
Sure,
like
you
laid
could,
out.
You could definitely
You don't
speak,
like
seeking
people just don't
confirmation
seek
bias.
any deeper than that.
Yeah, you could just find exactly.
you
what
can
you're
search for
looking
what you want.
Yeah, you'll just
exactly.
find what you're looking for, and
They'll
then that's
validate
it. And
your
you just move
bullshit
on,
instantly.
and then you don't learn. You don't really learn.
No.
But in a way, we're like working that issue out too, because like we're right now talking about that, realizing we do that. So then it makes people think
you can read
like
both
look.
sides,
You type
and
in like
then
you get really into something, and then you
solution.
type debunked after it, and then you get to read the criticism of it. You know?
Yeah.
Ever do that?
because on
You ever if
that's
you got
what
like any
the
weird idea or
evolving
anything,
thing
let's
said.
go debunked, because there was somebody out there pissed off that this guy put this idea out.
That's
And then
funny.
you get to read their like website. The debunked articles are never like, as like there's not as much time ever going into usually debunking
they
things
factual?
as they are. Well, it depends on what you're looking
It's just
at.
the other perspective.
It's just
the other
one.
side.
It's like the one guy who hears some dude saying his idea about something, and he's like, "This is all bullshit.
That's the ultimate
I'm making my own
balance, right?
website."
Rebuttal. I got you.
Yeah,
yeah.
Huh. I believe they're also known as haters.
yeah, and a more active form of hating.
Yep. Sometimes
I
I'll
can
see
see
that.
them,
Like,
yeah.
sometimes I'll read an article and I'm like, this is like kind of an interesting article. I want to see what the comments have to say, and I'll just fan through the article and I'll just read the comments because they're way more entertaining than the original piece. There was one, I don't remember what the thread was for, but people were getting all hated. They're just like getting all heated, and they're cussing and they're yelling at each other. And then someone put one sentence in there. They're like, "Please don't use the F word. I'm only 9 years old."
That's hilarious.
But it was funny because they wrote EFF dash word. I'm only 9.
What are you doing on the? Well,
That's funny.
yeah. That's a whole nother
9.
thing.
I mean, the
It's
guy's
hella funny.
he's
As if
probably
it
been on the
matters,
internet
like,
for
you're
like
gonna
the
go on
last
someone there-
4
Young
years.
people should be on that kind of thing that early.
It could be
I mean,
probably just a joke.
I think it
more
was
than
just
like
a
Probably, yeah. I'm
I
pretty
think
sure it was a joke.
That was just fucking.
But you could probably be on the
here.
internet at like
Dustin's like,
6. You know, it's not
excuse me,
that far
kid.
off.
Sorry, dude. Like,
It's not too far off.
What are you doing in here? Are your parents watching you? Jesus.
Please don't use that. Yeah. Unless this is some tobacco.
So, what kind of projects are you guys all in right now?
Like
You guys-
music
what are you guys
projects? You
doing?
got any
Yeah.
music projects?
What do you guys
going?
li-
I
li-
don't
listen
have
to,
any
thinking
music,
about,
music
like,
projects. I
in
played
your-
with
in
a
your
band
brain,
called
man.
Old Fashioned the other night.
Oh yeah, Chazaq played with Kevin's band the other
Yeah.
night. Last Thursday when we were
At Arlo's.
podcasting over here.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah, how was that, man?
We smashed it.
Yeah, was it cool?
Yeah, we didn't really have any endings to any of our songs, but during the songs were awesome.
That's cool.
You guys had kind of
They
awkward
started good.
outros.
They were going great, and then we just would like randomly
You're the
end
drummer,
it.
man. It's up to you to wrap that shit up.
I know, but we
Yeah,
didn't.
wrap it up,
know. I know it's a bluegrass beat. It's kind
So
of
you
new for
have
me.
The substance of
So
the frame, but you
I
need to
will
jam
take
out
some
of it.
responsibility for
The
that for
ending's not
sure.
quite,
The arrangement.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's not your
quite buttoned up.
responsibility, but you can do it.
I
as a
can
drummer.
help. I can.
Be like,
I
all
can
right, let's
definitely
wrap
help
this
it
up.
out. I just need some more practice doing that.
Well, so is that a collaboration then?
I'm good,
part
man.
of a
Thanks.
is it
Yeah,
a solo?
they
solo
were just
project
gonna
guy
do,
who's writing the songs, or
Yeah, they were just gonna do 2 guitarists and sing,
cool.
and they're like,
Who's the
they
third
asked me to
person?
do it. Another guitarist, an Old Fashioned.
What's your guys' inspiration?
Way to be
Music-
specific.
musically?
Oh, metal, bro, all
You're
the
a
way,
metal dude?
fucking death metal.
Right on.
G-Man.
J-
Who's your favorite
it's
band then?
JD
Metal
or
band.
what, I think.
Oh, he's my
whatever
favorite.
his
Yeah.
name
I got
is.
so many. Right now, like
Yeah,
at this
you
point in my
listen-
life, like
metal
I
listen to,
love Whitechapel, Black Dahlia Murder.
Nice. Okay.
I like Arsonists, Get All the Girls. Pretty fucking sick.
And what's your
Bleeding Through.
favorite right now? And like that's in the theme of what's been your favorite style of music or your musical inspiration?
The style of music in general.
Chazaq's hip hop
And
through
I
and
like
through,
it.
right?
Yep.
Is it still hip hop?
through and through? But I know I like
What hip hop
yeah,
are you listening to right now? What's your
jazz
favorite?
and funk.
Jazz, hip hop, DJ food,
Everything
kind of
that
style?
hip hop came from, I love. And rock, I love
You like
metal.
instrumental hip hop, vocal
G-Man
hip
knows
hop?
more than anything.
I remember one time I took Slayer.
G-Man's one of the people that know for sure that I love metal.
Oh yeah, this guy's down with it, dude. He'll put up with anything I put on for him. I'll
Have
be
ever
like, you want to
seen
hear the
Slayer
heaviest
live,
song?
Tony?
Never.
You have to see Slayer live.
One time I took
Right,
Chazaq.
G-Man?
Yeah, I took Chazaq to see Slayer,
Yeah,
and
yeah, that's true.
I'm not
he's
even
true.
gonna repeat.
Even from a
There's
hip hop
certain things in
lover,
that night,
like,
man. It was some crazy
Slayer,
shit,
man.
dude.
Yeah,
That was a crazy fucking show.
Yeah,
You'll
that
hear-
show's
you'll hear
badass.
that,
G-Man
multiple times. Right?
tossed
20
me a
times,
T-shirt. He
we
said,
walk
"Here,
by
wear
somebody,
this."
they'll
Yeah, I just gave him a T-shirt to wear.
I still have it. I looked at it. I'm like,
And if you
this is
say it to somebody,
disgusting.
they'll-
Okay,
they'll answer
perfect.
back.
That's hella funny.
Give
I,
it
dude,
up.
I took
Guy
Prozac
would
to a
just
death
walk
metal
by.
show one time,
Oh,
and I
for
gave him a Cannibal
sure.
Corpse shirt. He was just gonna wear like some hoodie or something. I'm like, no, fool, no. I was
No,
like, put on
man.
this Cannibal Corpse shirt.
I remember,
Dude, that shirt was so nasty. Sorry.
Cannibal
no,
Corpse shirt?
Cannibal Corpse. I
No,
saw
the shirt you
with
gave
my wife,
me.
and it was awesome.
Oh, the one I gave you to wear?
The shirts that they were selling there were not even close to as gross as the Slayer shirt that you gave me.
Well, when we saw him live, he's like, "This song goes out for all the ladies out there. It's fucked with a knife." Yeah, you're just like, yeah.
They're not messing around.
Then they're
Seriously.
they're awesome.
Is his
Cannibal
hair
Corpse?
fake
Cannibal
or is that
Corpse.
real?
I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't-
you
I
haven't
think it's
seen
real?
Cannibal
the Cannibal
Corpse.
Corpse. I don't think it is. Like Slayer, they saved a
Well-
puppy. Like I don't think they really stab
No,
girls in the
man.
vagina with a knife. It's just like a hypothetical
Oh,
thing.
No,
Yeah,
dude.
probably.
I read
Yeah,
a lot
getting out of
about
your
that
brain.
band, man. They just do it
No.
just because they love
It's a release
death
of
metal.
like an aspect of a creative side
Yeah,
of
it's
yourself. Like being in touch
yeah.
with your shadow
fa-
side.
It's like when someone makes
You're
a
not scared of
movie,
it.
you don't think like they've actually done all those actions.
No,
it's
I
really
believe
smart
it.
to think that way, and like let your mind
It
develop all these thoughts and put them on paper. And
You're locked
Make
into
'em-
a
make 'em
different
real and-
occult belief that goes against the
I mean,
collective
yeah, I'm sure they got
unconsciousness.
some
So
really
like, people go like,
discuss.
"Oh, whoa,
I'm
that's
sure they're fucking badasses.
There is a long
Fuck.
history though of people taking music literal and getting very offended.
Yeah.
oh yeah, and blaming
Yeah.
stuff on it."
Or like killing people over it.
But to their defense, even
Yeah,
though
but
they're
they
a bunch
know
of
that
dipshit
and they love
pussies,
that.
right?
They want that. So.
Music does have it.
Yeah,
It
what?
vibes with people, right? Universally, it has
Or
an
else they wouldn't
effect
put it
on
down.
people, and weak people can vibe in on something, and they can take it literally, just like
Yeah.
right. Like they can listen to Cannibal Corpse, and instead of it being a side and a release of, I love metal too, and you go to those shows and go in the pit, it's loving, friendly, awesome people, and they're doing a healthy release of that thing.
Yeah.
The repressed people that have it and they view it a different way, they're acting that stuff out. That's a hypothetical view, Tony, like you said, is a movie, but.
Well, yeah, Ozzy got his idea from watching like horror movies. That's when he was like, "I'm gonna try
Most
to
of
make
his
a
ideas
scary
were from
band."
Sharon, man. She like
And
came up with
She's
this
crazy.
shit
That was
and grew
later, right?
down.
What-
Crazy.
Well, yeah, that later.
But like when
Once
he
was hit.
when they first
or
did
from
whatever Sabbath and
Black
whatever.
Sabbath.
Yeah,
Ozzy,
they gave him
at
a
this
lot of
point
ideas.
is not even that scary at all. It's just like rock
No, yeah,
and like
you-
classic
I used to
rock
think
and
he was
like
a devil
really,
worshiping, like
really
animal
dope.
killing.
like really good fucking music.
Yeah,
I know Crazy Train is all like it's all about like being hella like a good person, like forget how to hate or
learn how to love, right?
and
Forget how to hate.
It's like
It's one of the few metal songs you'll hear that's in a major key.
yeah,
It's a really like upbeat song.
it's so
yeah.
positive.
Hey, what do you think of
Yeah,
that
it's talking
Fool's?
about the
Late
What do you think
world,
about that
right?
Fool's tone?
Positive.
Randy Rhodes
Yeah,
drives
Yeah.
me crazy, dude. It's like all mids. It's like a
Yeah.
buzzsaw.
And that's exactly the point. Like it's a hypothetical view on the world, going off the rails on a crazy train, right?
You're not
Slayer, Cannibal Corpse are thinking of like the fucked up shit that can happen, but they're
Dude,
getting
I
it
did
out
some
through music
research.
and art.
I did some research like a month ago about the saddest song
Wikipedia.
ever, and it's a Hungarian. It's called the Hungarian Love Song of Sadness, and they know it's also known as the suicide song. And people like it went through this whole trend where people were like, "Hell, listen to this song," and there's all these suicides after the song. The dude who wrote it committed suicide because of that song, and there was like a trend in the
Dirty.
1920s. There's a whole documentary on it.
It's like The
Suicide
Ring. If
song.
you watch the video,
It was just so sad, and like it had lyrics too.
You listen
about
to
a
the
dude who loved
song?
some lady, and she turned around and she walked away finally for the last time, and I'll never see her again.
You say G-Man 3 times, you die.
And then my friend, you die. I just walk in the room like, hey, yo, what up?
Do you guys think it would be fun to die?
I'd give a
Pick it
shot.
up when I'm
One
dropping
of these
down.
days.
Yeah.
One of these
You think-
days.
I think one of these days I'll give it a shot. huh?
Yeah.
I'm waiting
You guys
for when I'm
included
old.
on that?
What?
Yeah.
Let's give death.
You'd be a
shot
hella
one of
cool
these
old
days.
man.
Yeah,
Hella hobbies.
I want to live long enough to be like a
You're gonna go
good
for it.
Santa
We're gonna
Claus
go
with,
for it, right?
with a real beard.
Are you
That
gonna
would be
live
cool.
forever? You're gonna go out dying with the Santa
I'm gonna live
Claus
for
beard
some
on?
death.
Chazaq, remember that one time you told me like I figured out my new goal in life?
Yeah.
You remember, tell him what it was.
I want to live to I'm 120,
No, that's
One.
not what you told me.
right?
You said you wanted to be the oldest man in the world.
Oh, that would be
Seriously
fucking
doubt
cool.
Shazaq will accomplish that
I
goal.
doubt
I'm
it.
sorry.
I'm just saying.
being
How are you
real.
gonna accomplish
I already
that goal
know.
there?
You haven't been taking the best care of yourself to be trying to
Right?
make it to be the oldest man in the
I
I'm
world.
need
probably
to go
gonna
to a
make
day
it to
spa.
like
Those are the people that live the
42.
longest, like the oldest men on
I'll
earth.
probably hit up like
He-
42 and pass out.
I'm out.
Yeah, but he was
That's been tight.
120, and his secret was
Well, hey,
drinking
man.
whiskey and smoking cigarettes
don't
since
forget
he
to
was
feed my dog.
13. He said, my mother-in-law taught me to drink a shot of whiskey every morning. He drank a shot of whiskey every morning, smoked cigarettes from
Yeah,
like the day
before
he
he
was
knew
13.
it, life was
The oldest man on Earth.
he didn't remember any of it.
Or maybe
But
the
he's
oldest white man,
120.
but he's 120 something.
It is hard to
Healthy as hell.
imagine drinking whiskey and
And those
cigarettes
guys running
their
all
whole
day,
life.
healthy.
Yeah.
Just like
Heart attack.
Yeah.
I'm thinking he
My
got
cafe latte
he got
mocha.
lucky with the genes myself.
yeah, that has a big part to it too. You don't think
Some
there's some
genes,
secret
some good
elixir like
genes.
whiskey and cigarettes?
I doubt that.
Man.
That's it.
Wouldn't that be
that.
awesome?
Well, if he did it,
just- there's-
there's no genes that can
Wouldn't
like
that be
keep your
awesome?
liver away from
It
whiskey.
seems like evidence points
Yeah,
strongly
you think
away
so?
from that.
You think like the
What
nature
preserves
just
you.
like
Yeah,
even
unless
though
you had some
his
kind of chamber
genes-
where you can rejuvenate
Yeah,
your
there's
cells.
got to be some truth to it, probably. Like, yeah, most people that are really old definitely have terrible habits.
Well,
Think
let's
about
jam it out for ourselves.
do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
walk out on the street barefoot. It was raining and cold. Didn't nobody give a fuck. Nobody wanted to help me. Nobody stopped to say, hey, boy, you need to ride home. May have. I probably would have said no anyway. So I just kept on rolling in my barefoot until it began to snow. It got so cold. I said, hell no. Oh no. Oh no. Hell no. Oh no. Hell no. So I looked around to the nearest bridge. So here's what I did.
It's not easy necessarily.
Maybe at like an
like
estate sale.
That's where I
By
got-
the way, you
that's where I got
guys,
most of those
Gman is
Yeah.
drunk.
What? I'm not drunk.
He's not drunk.
On a cup
People
of
are gonna
coffee. I'm
be
the only
able-
one here who's not drinking tonight.
People are gonna be able to tell
He's literally
immediately
the
by
only
his voice.
fucking
It's like,
person
oh, I
that
can tell there's
hasn't-
one sober
hasn't drank
man.
at
Yep.
all. Yeah, right. You can tell-
Starbucks coffee.
You can tell by the choice of words.
Mainly, you could tell by the execution of the words.
Yeah, not only the execution, but I think even a drunk person with intellectual words, they'll choose like a certain pattern of words.
Or slur their speech.
Well, that's
And lean
obvious, but
sideways, Chazaq's leaning sideways like this. Like,
I know.
back.
yeah, I feel like I'm Maury, like talking to a
You kind of
young
are.
pregnant lady.
Is he pregnant because he can't drink?
He's pregnant because there's a baby hiding inside his afro.
And you need to stop fornicating with all of these women, sir.
All of those women.
So you guys think we had a pretty
Take a try
successful
But if that
night
dude
jamming?
didn't fornicate with all those women, would Maury even have a career?
Who?
Yeah, who?
Maury?
The million dudes out there just having babies without even giving a shit. Just like getting girls pregnant.
That's crazy, man.
I don't know exactly what we're
Women
talking
make
about.
a
Dude.
career out of that, but not men.
I think Maury's all pissed off, but if it wasn't for
I
them,
get
Maury
you, Maury
Povich.
Povich.
Yeah. Let's talk about
Maury
Maury.
Povich. You gotta explain to them. You
oh
gotta
my
give the last
god.
name.
Oh, there's like more than one Maury out there?
I don't
I
know.
know Maury once went backpacking with this dude.
Oh,
You say-
damn, my fault.
I don't even notice.
Yeah, I kept calling him Russell or Murray.
Dude,
You say
oh,
Maury,
man.
I think of like I've never heard anyone with that name, and you say Maury Povich.
Yeah, he's not
Oh,
as
yeah.
relevant
Maury
enough.
Povich.
He's been
it's-
gone a few
well,
years.
Dude,
to where-
I'd call it Maury Povich if the show was called Maury Povich, but
think
the
it
show
is.
is called Maury.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
Dude, I saw this hella funny picture. It was right around
Everyone
Christmas
knows
time.
he's Povich.
Yeah, I saw this
Yeah,
really funny
exactly,
picture. It
the
was right
Povich.
before Christmas time, and it was a nativity. So it
That's
was like
how you know it's him.
it was Mary and the baby Jesus and Joseph, and in between them was Maury Povich, and he's like, "Congratulations, Joseph, you are not the father." And then behind their background it says, "Merry Christmas."
it's gotta
Jesus
be.
is the Son of God. Joseph's like, "Whew, "Hey, my baby."
Do you guys get it?
I ain't
Alright.
claiming that.
Do you guys totally get it?
We are back
Do you
post
get it?
jam, officially.
Oh, yeah.
on the podcast.
We made a poster of
Yeah,
jam.
this is true.
We left out the peanut butter.
This is a
And-
clean transition from jam to talk.
We got Chazaq
Peanut butter and
Pinto,
jam talk
Carl
time.
Bamberger,
Yeah,
and Gman.
and G-Man.
Garred.
Andrew Brown,
Garred
a.k.a.
Andrew
Lamar
Brown.
Berserkowitz, a.k.a. Marufa Mada Shikiman.
Right, you guys ready for the gift? You guys ready for your
That's my
gifts?
Muslim name. Oh,
We
yeah.
also have Bill Withers in the house with us.
I got you
tonight.
these gifts at
Bill
the.
Withers was cool.
I got you these at the estate sale when I got the tapes.
Cool.
Way before I ever knew you guys were gonna come here. Okay. But I saw them today. I was like, oh, I got two
I
gifts. from
raise
the
the
two
roof.
guests.
I'm excited. Probably never going to use it.
You get this one.
Oh, dude, I love chess.
You get this one.
Friendly computer.
Wow.
Is this because I wore this shirt with Bill Gates on it?
Kind of.
What is
No,
that?
I was planning
Dude,
on
what
giving
the
it to you
fuck
before,
is
but
DOS,
the shirt reminded.
DOS style
Open it up.
chess
Take a look what
and-
you got in there.
Fuck is
And
this?
This
what's-
shit was
what's in there?
$13.97 at Kmart.
It's a
Hold
video
on.
game.
In
Chazaq is called
1962.
Super Alien,
Nothing costs this much.
and it's for the VIC 20 system.
Yeah.
Fuck, this isn't even Atari. What's this like? Atari meets Super Nintendo?
Commodore,
mi comrade. I
What the
promise
hell?
you.
This looks like an Atari.
It looks like an Atari
game.
meets a Super Nintendo cartridge.
It is.
Almost the exact
what?
size of a Super Nintendo cartridge.
It's Nintendo, a little bit wider,
Made
but
in Hong
not quite
Kong.
as deep.
You didn't know you were getting a cartridge game, did you?
Dope. Oh,
Oh,
dude,
man.
you got instructions in yours?
Now we have to like. Oh man.
Now you guys
I think-
have to seek out the system.
I think the present is
I bet
to,
Marius could find this. What system is it
in
on?
my lifetime, find what the hell this is gonna.
Well,
go
apparently,
to.
hold on, time out, time
Like,
out,
what's it
time
gonna
out.
fit with?
No,
What is
no
it?
accessories required.
I bought a box of
How
real.
am I gonna play chess with
Okay,
just
no
this?
accessories required.
I need an accessory to plug it into.
I bought a box full of reel-to-reel tapes, and these were in it.
Are you
Okay,
serious?
this is like
I don't know what they are. And Dustin, here I got something for you. too.
Commodore.
this is like 1970s
Super Alien.
No,
or
this is
excuse
early
me,
80s,
not
dude.
1906.
No, this is 1981.
It's like probably
Mine says
pre.
1906.
No, that's not right.
No, that's like an
That's
inventory
Dustin.
number.
what's this?
Well,
That's
it
some
says
kind
it
of
on here.
videotape.
It does.
professional recording.
That came with the reel-to-reels too.
There could be something on there.
It's not music. It's a video.
It could
This is
be
like
really
this
cool
is
on
such a
there.
computer
Yeah.
game.
It could be
This
a
is
snuff film,
this
like
totally
8mm.
Or
a
Lost
computer
Highway.
game.
I don't know, Lost Highway.
Well, I don't think that was really a snuff. That was just some creepy dude in his house.
Do you think it's
you,
been
you
used?
just plug it right into your the
I
back
have no
of
idea
your.
to tell
it-
just by looking at it.
What do you think, Tony? That looks pretty
You
new.
plug it in right into
It
the
would be
back
cool
of
if there
your
was something
keyboard.
Look
on
at
it.
that box.
No, the guy who sold this stuff was kept his stuff in pretty good shape.
Yeah, look, that box is just
This is amazing.
Hey,
But-
pristine.
what if
I
you
think
watched
that's a
it?
'60s thing.
Hey, what if
Yeah.
you watched it and the person on there started talking
I'm
to you
glad
and told
that
you your life
America
story
hasn't like
on video
evolved
and then told
too
you where your
much.
future's going?
Making like giant
Wouldn't that be
boxes
pretty
for
cool?
Like a
things
Stephen
that are
King
very
story.
small. Like there's only a cartridge case in here. Is that what it's called?
It's a cartridge.
Little cartridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been
Okay, this
smaller.
box
you're
is
right.
like at least it's actually
Box is hella
exactly
big.
3 times as big.
Well, because it's so
You know?
expensive. It's $14. They're making you think you're getting more. You're like,
box-
oh, look at this.
So, G-Man, explain exactly what your gift is.
All right, so Tony gave me, it's called the VIC-20 Saigon 2 chess. It appears to be some type of computer game, but it's not a floppy
It's a
disk.
cartridge game.
It's a cartridge.
It probably has a machine that it
What
plugs
system?
into.
You know,
If
this
you
might
turn
go
it
into like
around.
the old Apples, like the really old. Oops.
Oh, you
it's
think?
dropped.
The old
cartridge.
Macintosh, and it probably has like a USB connection.
That's the sound of a cartridge game hitting the floor.
These things are virtually indestructible.
Do you have to blow on
What
those
about blowing
before
the
you play
dust
them?
out? Except for dust.
Oh man,
They're only
nostalgia.
nemesis.
Hey, you want to hear something funny? When I was in second grade, I had a friend named Josh Hamilton, and the dude had he was that one kid that had hella video games, but he was a mouth drooler. Like he was a mouth breather and always a drooler. Like you look at this fool in class, and the teacher's like blah blah blah. You look
You
over
want to
Josh
help
Hamilton,
him, but
he's like,
it's too embarrassing to
like
help
a
him.
Saint Bernard, dude. So we'd go to his house, and he's like, "Oh, it's
Like,
broken.
intense.
It's not working
That
good."
type
And he'd
of
take it
dude.
out, and he'd go. And just blow spit. I could just see like particles of spit, like particulates, like dripping off. And he's like, "This
And
should
the
do
game would
trick."
work
Puts it in,
immediately.
and it hella doesn't work still. He's like, "This
Oh.
thing's broken."
Oh,
I'm like,
I was
"Dude,
thinking
you're
the
drooling
spit
on
would be a good conductor for the energy.
I thought it lubed it up a little bit.
But you know what? It might
who
short
knows?
it out.
No, it does.
Oh, no, man,
apparently
it
it
was
doesn't at
hella
all. No,
gross.
you want just
G-Man.
good wind. What
G-Man.
the blowing is for, you want to dust it because it gets dusty.
Yeah, you want to get
So
the
people were
end
like, "Why do you blow into the game? You want to
get the
dust
dust
it."
off.
And then
But you
they
know what?
invented
Stop.
compressed
People
air.
don't really.
But you know what makes no
people
sense?
don't really get it, right?
Every day
I think
you're
this is
blowing
the
the
first.
dust out, though.
This might be the first conversation about blowing the dust off of a cartridge in
Ever.
a good 30 years.
Oh, no,
Collective
I thought about this
unconscious.
shit we
man.
did.
It's happening right now. People.
You know
are
what I've
talking about
read? This is my theory.
We thought
on
we
it, though.
invented this, but it's been talked about.
I've heard.
Well,
this is my
million
theory, I
times
guess, but
over.
People say
People like
that
to joke
it's
about
the
it.
spring that wears out that makes the bad connection. So that's why we used to have a Game Genie, and whenever you'd have it in the Game Genie, you shove it in there,
Yeah.
and it works, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
extra
it's all
weight.
about the spring.
Because the spring isn't in play with the Game
Yeah.
Genie because
Yeah.
it just like you just force it right in there.
Game
You
Genie
do
was
want to blow.
legit.
You do want to blow the cartridge, but blow on the cartridge.
But
I'll
you
talk about
Dirty.
blowing going on.
Hey, you remember Sonic
That shit.
3,
But
I think, on Genesis, where it was
the
its own
most
cartridge, you
important-
could plug Sonic Chaos in on top of it?
no, I
Or
don't.
it was Sonic and Knuckles on Genesis. Remember that?
You had to plug a game on
Oh,
top
yeah.
of that game.
Yeah,
No,
you would. It would come. It would be Sonic 3, and you could play it by itself. Or if you get the expansion pack, you can. It worked like a Game Genie. You can plug Sonic and
Game
Knuckles in
Genie.
there and play either one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
You
Remember?
guys don't remember that? Was
I-
Remember
was more of
Nintendo
the Nintendo- I played
64,
Sega
the
at the
Perfect
Ferns,
Dark,
but-
when you had to get the expansion pack
Sega?
for that?
Nintendo.
in what?
You had to get the expansion pack for your 64 to play Perfect Dark, and it was like you get like 4 extra bits or something out of it. I don't know.
That's legit.
damn.
Or what about a Dreamcast, where your memory card was built into the controller?
It wasn't built in, but
It
had
wasn't
a
built in.
screen
It was
on.
like the
Yeah, you
first.
could
Yeah,
play
it
like a
had
Digimon
yeah, it had it. It
or
was
like
yeah.
a
It was
Peter
like the
Pan.
first.
Yeah, we had a Dreamcast, but it quit.
glimpse
working,
of
and we
the
never got it
future
again.
was the Dreamcast.
I think that it had a lot of potential.
I
but
have a
it just kinda
Dreamcast. Who has
disappeared.
No,
a
the
Dreamcast?
Dreamcast
I never-
was a faulty
one?
system.
You guys?
No, they almost all broke like
That
quickly.
sucks.
Yeah,
Mine is
did
broken,
yours break? Yeah, ours broke.
but there's a piece of tape, so it's fixed.
oh really? But it was like one of those bum systems
it
that
works
were like,
perfect.
broke hella easy.
Soul Calibur.
What kind
Dope.
of tape?
It's just a red piece of electrical tape.
Electrical.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's high tech, man. That's very forward thinking.
And red.
G-Man, you have a
It
good
was
story.
the red chakra.
I'd like
that
to
it
hear
just
again
brightened
if
it
you
up.
want to tell
Yeah.
it.
I was
Sure.
feeling red that day.
Listen up, guys. This is a good story.
Listen,
G-Man, remember when you got busted with all the Black and Mild tips as a child?
Oh yeah.
That's a great
Wanna hear that story?
Yeah.
All right, so I was in 8th grade, and I wanted to be cool, so I like smoked cigarettes, and like every once in a while I get my hands on a little bit of weed. and I'd walk to the golf course with Josh Hammond, and someone was like they'd smoke Black and Milds on the golf course, and they'd throw those little plastic tips, and I'd see them every day, and I'd be like, oh, these are hella cool. I don't know what they do, but it just looks cool. So I had them in the front pocket of my backpack, right? And so I had those.
Burnout butts, like half smoked.
No,
Black and Mild.
Half smoked
butts.
Black and Mild.
No, there was no tobacco in there. It was just the plastic parts. I probably had like well over a dozen. And then some kid was going to give me this pipe
You were a
in
herpes
exchange
collector
of
at a
me
young
giving
age.
him a joint of some weed. So I didn't have no access to weed. So I got a cigarette from someone in like the locker room. I went home and I ripped off the filter, ripped off both the ends of the tobacco, and put oregano in there and tied it up. I put it in a little clear cassette case, and I went on the bus, and I was hella proud of myself, like, I'm so fucking cool, and I'm gonna sell weed to this guy and trick him. It's not even real weed, and then get his pipe. And I told like hella fools on the bus, and then I go to class, and then the principal shows up like 15 minutes of school starting. Someone on the bus ratted me out, and so I tried to like pass off the cassette tape to someone in my class. They're like, I don't do drugs, get that away from me. I didn't know I was better than you. And so they took me to the office and they suspended me. They had my backpack and they opened up my backpack and I had like 25 of these Black and Mild plastic things. And the lady's like, how do you explain this? I was like, I don't even know what they are. I thought they looked tight. And then my mom showed up. She was pissed. I couldn't play guitar for a month. She made me cut my hair hella short.
What? Who does that? Dirty.
Took away everything. Took away all my music, all my CDs.
So it's like your mom's like the mom in Detroit Rock City.
Kind of like
Say.
super strict. But you know what's funny?
Yeah, right?
But you know what's funny is that the school in the school handbook they didn't have anything in there for.
Bless her soul.
I totally lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
They didn't have anything in the school
They
handbook.
found you. Like, how do you explain this? You were collecting.
But they didn't have anything in the school handbook for selling fake weed. That wasn't a rule. They're like, well, they were trying to find something to get me on, and they're like, well, there was intent, so we're gonna put that in next year's like school handbook.
We're gonna think about that.
But technically,
that
it
was a
loophole.
good one.
Like if it
What the
wasn't
fuck?
written
You got
down in the
good.
contract that we signed at the beginning of the year, I shouldn't be
amazing.
held accountable for it, right?
What is this high school minority report now? Like you're getting like
Yeah, they
your
should, like,
intent.
ask you for tips. They should not be coming down on you on that.
I don't know.
Like,
That's
hey,
like the most trouble I've ever been in my life.
G-Man, what
One time
kind
I
of
almost-
what kind of
fakes.
rules
You
should
got
we
busted
endorse
for 12
next year?
Black and Mild tips and some fake.
I bet you have
doobie.
some good ideas.
That's hardcore, man.
Yeah.
You were hustling,
Dude.
right?
Gangsta.
Ballin'.
That's the day I became G-Man. I got initiated.
That's like where the inspiration. That's a Weird Al Yankovic.
I didn't even know you knew that
inspiration
story.
You
song.
told me a while ago, and I thought it was a great story. I actually forgot a lot of it. I just remembered you collecting all the Black and Mild tips.
Right.
Amazing.
Busted with them.
Right.
I was so happy about that part of it.
It's one of those moments like, fuck,
It's
like,
amazing.
why did I even have those? I wasn't thinking.
You're like,
So for all you youngins out there, Black and Mild tips aren't like good advice from a black man. All right. No.
well, if you got them in your bag, whoever finds them immediately thinks you just smoked.
Like
all
hardcore.
Black and
Yeah.
Mild. And then they're
Yeah.
still wondering why you keep the tips.
My dad caught me
Posterity.
smoking, and he made me smoke all of them. I don't know. That's all I can think.
I'm just fucking
You immediately,
hanging out in bars
immediately
with
look like
motorcycles.
a Black and Mild chain smoker.
I used to smoke mad Black and Milds
In
when I was
high
in college.
school.
I'd have 40s and Black and Milds. You're listening to like old Ice Cube records hella loud.
Man, it's raining in California. That's crazy. People are almost dying.
Jeez,
It's
I know.
I'm melting. It's gonna be great, dude.
Well, I know, but geez, finally, this shit's
Watching-
been fucking hot.
Watching the
Son.
news, they made it seem like this podcast, like this storm was just going to come and like take this shed down.
Storm of the
Oh, really?
century.
Yeah, dude.
I think I've heard that. I
It's the
think
storm of the century.
it's just hype.
They're saying
Dude.
it's like the biggest storm in like 7 years or something.
This is normal rain in any other state.
This is
right?
normal rain here. It does
It's
this
normal rain
every
here.
year.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I don't
But
know.
hey, people
maybe
were
we missed the wind. I
people
don't
were
know.
out in hordes.
I don't know.
buying
Is anybody
supplies to
looking
prepare
into
for the
it?
storm.
I haven't even actually seen an official report saying that this
I saw an
this
official
storm-
report, and there was some green. There was
this
some
storm
yellow.
is like
Oh
crazy.
yeah, the
There was-
Doppler.
yeah, there was some
So-
color here, and people
So,
said,
I'm not really
you know,
into
go buy
it.
some shit, dude.
Lot of
But
power
But what I
outages.
would
Power's
be
gonna go out,
concerned
bro.
with is constant rain for a good 5 to 6 days. I don't think Sacramento's ready for that.
Yeah, they're not talking
Even
about
if it's
that,
like
though.
No, it's 1 day. It was supposed to be 3 days, and people were freaking out. Now it's like gonna be maybe 1 day. I mean,
It's
I
not a
want.
long
yeah,
storm, I
Would you
think.
guys be ready for maybe like 10 days and no power, straight fucking storming, maybe even starving? Just what you have in
No,
your
I'm not.
closet.
I don't think I have enough
Unprepa-
supplies.
I'm
No,
ready
no.
to die.
Maybe just what's
You're
in,
ready? That's what you're
Easy.
prepared for?
maybe what's just
I'm ready.
in your fridge, or when it's gonna go bad. So cans, you're just eating whatever. It's raining.
Yeah, I
you're
don't
starving.
Whatever,
Dude.
man.
You're foraging. You're
What do you guys
eating
think?
bugs
10
in
days.
your yard.
Eating cat food.
That would be kind of cool. Yeah, eating cat food.
That would not be cool, bro.
I mean, like you're just like flooded, like up above in the house, like it's like water everywhere. You can't
Fuck
get it.
that, dude.
You couldn't survive.
No, not
Well,
with the supplies I have.
Yeah,
I would just
Current
complain
supplies.
so much.
would you?
Probably not.
That's one thing.
I think
That-
you
that'd
would
be-
just have to
that
get
should
in
be
the
a
right
goal for
perspective.
2015, like get prepared.
Hold on.
You know, I've thought
have
about
some
like
pee
how
break.
like it would be good to get prepared, get your shit, but truth is, that shit expires, man. You buy the water, the like emergency food. If you don't use it in 5-10 years, it's all gone, man.
If you're hungry enough, dude,
then
it's
I
gonna
think of this.
sustain you.
Yeah.
My whole life, there's never been a situation where I've lived that's needed that stuff. So it makes me
But you
not
can't
want.
rule out the possibility of you needing it at some
You
point in
may.
your life.
Sure, you possibly may, but odds are, you probably won't. Or if you do need it,
I can't say that. I say the odds are the probability of everything is 50-50.
what have you prepared? What do you got stocked up?
No,
at your house?
no, nothing. Like I haven't prepared for anything because I thought if I prepared, I would jinx it. I wanted it to bring it on. Like I'm like, I want to see the storm and I don't want to ruin it. Like you want to bring me the hype? I don't believe it. I was like, the storm of the century.
You're like the dude who like goes like climbing Everest without any gear.
No, not that haphazardly, but I'm in my home. If I'm safe there, what will happen will happen. And like if I got a can of tomatoes or some shit I would normally eat, I'll pop it open. And if it's bad, I'll go out there and forage some shit for a little bit.
By
I could
forage,
make it.
do you mean pillage?
Yeah. No, well, no.
Hey, man.
Well, you
I
never
thought you
know.
were cool.
That would be a face to
Back.
face. You never know what you would do when you're starving. But no, I would say I would.
What would other people do?
I wouldn't pillage
Protect
till I was
yourself
really
with a
like
weapon if
dying.
someone comes
You're
in your
out
house.
there and there's just other
No.
people pillaging while you're just foraging. Just
Exactly.
being
I would
innocent
forage
foraging.
until like
Humbly
literally
eating
like
grubs in the backyard.
yeah
there's
until
a lot of
somebody in my family was
pillagers.
dying or I was dying. I wouldn't like pillage at all. You know. And if I did,
Talking about
hopefully I
eating
would try to make
mushrooms or-
friends with
Nah,
somebody else.
man.
Like and then make an ecosystem that work together. Maybe work as a team, find somebody else, but yeah, mushroom. That's what we were saying. Is like if this storm comes, we just got a big bag of mushroom. We'll eat that as our sustenance, as food. We'll be so
Right, you
in
won't
the
have to
moment we
eat
won't
for
even
a
remember
couple
we're
days.
hungry.
So then,
yeah, we
when
won't
you
remember we're
come back
hungry.
to,
That's
then you're
all
like,
you, man.
Well, the yogis used to do that. They would eat that as
Same.
a fasting, and they could fast for long periods of time by just eating those. But that, I guess technically,
right. So
that's
you
not
want to have
fasting
at
'cause
least
they're eating mushrooms,
you want
but
you want to have at least a 7-day supply of food,
Okay.
right? Because statistically, the world is 7 days away from starving, no matter who you are.
So you want to be the last
That's
man
true.
alive?
not
That's
So
how you're
necessarily.
No.
trying to outlast these
No.
other fools who don't have the 7 days.
Last
worth
fool
of
on Earth
is that the
talks
thing?
like
It's
this,
all-
man.
no, it doesn't
He
matter
wants
who
to be
you
the last man
are.
alive.
At 120
like
years
the
old.
the whole world is about 7 days. This is a statistic that I heard from some super cool guy chilling in a spa at the LA Fitness on 82nd.
What are you talking about? Don't
in
statistics need to have percentages
Statistics suck, man. Those are all just.
in there? If it's a statistic,
It's like a
there
Google
should be some
search. You
type
can
of percentage
find
in there.
bullshit that validates your
But
belief.
your stat is seven. The
Right, but
world
there's
is
not
7 days away from starvation.
yeah, that's not a
That's not a
statistic. It's
stat.
just it's
Sounds
just
like
like
a
It's like a
Yeah.
fun fact you would
Yeah,
read
like
on
a
a really
fun
depressing
fact type of
popsicle
thing.
stick.
Yeah.
Did you know
Yeah, that
Yeah,
doesn't apply to
that type of
everybody
thing.
either.
the
Some
sun
people
could burn
couldn't
out at
last
any
7
moment?
days.
So like, if
so
there was no,
so
I don't even know
his
what that
suggestion was, you know,
What was
7
10
days worth of
Do you think
food,
you could live 10
and then
days?
and then you wait, because you know you can not eat
you take a
anything
day
for
off
about
first,
7 days.
Then you get, you're
So you
getting
just don't
8
eat.
days.
Then you got 7 days.
There's also fasting. Like you could have a strictly a liquid diet. That could sustain you for a while. Not too long because your body needs electrolytes and fats and salts and stuff like that. Potassium for your skin.
How long do you think nibbling
Yeah.
on your fingers and arms would sustain you?
Auto cannibalism.
You think I could get it 10 days?
That's rough. Because there's the pain.
But you can go.
have to
You can
factor
go at least a month without eating, and
couldn't you eat
can't go
grass and stuff
anything
at the
longer
10-day?
without
Yeah.
drinking. Right.
That's what they did during the Irish
anything
potato
longer than a
famine.
week without drinking.
And I guess traditional Irish people find it really offensive that we food color everything green, because during that famine, people were dying and starving to death, and they would have green mouths, like green teeth and green tongues from all the grass that they were eating, and they died. A lot of them died of dysentery.
So what are we coloring green that offends them?
So when to remind
We don't
them
do our
of
mouse ever.
the
They just don't like
atrocities.
the color green in general.
I don't know if there's anyone out there that gets completely bent out of shape, but I'm Irish, and I did a little bit of looking into it, like
I thought
some of the
There's
celebration.
at least an article on the web about it.
Oh, there has to be.
I thought green was the color of the Irish.
Well, it's on the flag.
color.
The flag is green, white, and orange, and like their main like symbol is like the clover.
I mean, the
What's
The
like
four-leaf
green and
clover.
black kilts?
definitely a
and
lot of
stuff, I mean.
green in Ireland.
Yeah.
It's-
Oh, for sure,
you know.
for sure. That was just one
So-
aspect.
Yeah.
I mean, the grass alone.
But it holds. Yeah, green is
That's
definitely a
but
significant.
that's funny you
color.
brought up grass, because that's what I was thinking in this whole survival
You
talk.
would
If I
eat
had to go
grass?
forage, like I would just go out and like
Eat
around the
grass?
house and like go eat some grass if I had to, like just chew on that shit. It would taste whatever, but
Putting
you know,
some sriracha
it's,
on
it's
his grass.
something, yeah. Like you would eat salad, some salad, the spinach tastes like shit. You're like, whatever is this?
Kale.
I'm eating some I love teriyaki. You know it's cat, but you're just
So
like, oh whatever.
You're the guy
but-
who dies of poisoning, but
No,
by
trying new stuff.
ingesting. Yeah.
No,
trying
I'm
new
not a
stuff.
fucking single-celled
Cactus.
amoeba. You know, like.
I'm just
like,
thinking you're
you
gonna pick
taste
the wrong
no.
berry.
If you're picking anything, no, you got to be smarter than
one's
chimpanzee.
crazy red.
You taste it, you nibble it, you see if it has an effect on you. If it doesn't, you know you're good. If it does, you like only have ingested a little bit.
You gotta have a sidekick
We're intelligent
that'll
beings.
test your food for you.
No, you just
Yeah,
take
buddy,
a little
that'll be
bite
cool.
of it, then
I'm
you
a day
wait.
behind my sidekick, and he's okay.
Just like monkeys or any intelligent, somewhat animal that forages does. Even rats, like they go, like that's why it's hard to poison them. They feed on dead, horrible shit, but they go, they nibble a little bit, send a scout, they nibble it, they can feel it bad, they get a little bit sick, they fight it through like the flu, but they don't die. And then they go, no, that shit's bad. They poisoned it. And if not, they just go, they take a little bite, they wait a few hours, they're good. All right, crew, come on in. This isn't poisoned.
Yeah,
It's dog
their
shit,
bodies
but
probably
hey,
aren't as susceptible
eat
to
it.
bacterial infections
Well, yeah, and
like
that's
we
the thing.
are.
You have to
'cause-
get used to it. You're going to go through a few bouts of diarrhea.
Gotta
and
get
fucking
used to it.
Roostering, right? You're going to be roostering. You're going to be puking,
Roost-
shitting. Yeah, at the same time.
That's hella funny.
Yeah, if you go through that, like I mean, if you go through some Armageddon food,
I've never heard that.
you're gonna
before.
have to build the iron tummy. I mean, after a while, and then you eat some more. Like rich people, they don't even eat leftovers. Somewhat rich people, something like maybe middle class, they leave it for a few days, a week.
Yep.
And then they toss it out weeks.
Not
boom.
even rich people.
And
Just
then
most of
maybe
America
normal
doesn't
people,
eat
right?
left. Yeah,
And then, but it's like,
exactly.
oh, I got to.
Thank
Okay,
you.
but maybe poorer people, I got.
Yeah.
Or lower middle class a
Or
week,
normal people.
but you got to microwave it, right? But then as you start running out of the food source, you'll push it to like a week without. You have no heat. You can't heat it up.
Pretty soon you're
Then
scraping
2 weeks
the
and
mold
you're,
off.
exactly. You're scraping the mold off. You're
Yeah, no, yeah.
Right?
As soon as you see mold,
you're
throw that
ripping
shit
off a
out.
piece of your shirt and putting it in the water
No,
to
it's
put it out
not.
into the other thing to filter out the crap, and then hoping that you can heat it up a little bit
As
with
soon
something.
as the fumes
No.
burn your eyes, give it up.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
If you see that mold on
All
there,
right, let's
throw
wrap
it
this
out.
thing up. Thanks for coming out, G-Man.
Thanks, Tony.
Chazaq.
Yeah, no
Dennis.
doubt.
Coming out.
Yeah, Dennis.
No,
That was
Daniel.
amazing.
Yeah, Daniel.
I'm sorry. I called you Dennis.
No.
He called
And
Daniel
Daniel,
Dennis.
too.
Sorry, man.
I'm neither nor.
Thanks for having me, Tony.
Yeah.
Of course, man. Thanks for coming out.
Dustin.
Pleasure.
I fucked that up too. What's my name?
G-Man.
What's my real name?
Special sauce.
Spaceman.
What's my real name?
I don't. Spooky special.
It's Garred. Garred.
The functopholectic.
Garred?
Dr.
The
Funkenstein,
Garrett
rump of
G-Man.
steelskin.
There we go.
You actually
Dr.
have an
Funkenstein,
actual
Rumpel
real name?
Steelskin.
Yeah, it's Garred.
It's Garred?
Yeah. Don't
Damn.
play like you didn't know my real name.
All right, Mystery School signing out.
Brown.
AKA
dudes.
huge ass. Thanks, Tony.